things that have happened with some members of Anambra State House of Assembly who have left the original party to the next party. Being categorical with those who were elected under the platform of the Labour Party, we know that many people, latched onto the sentiments of P2B to vote for these people that they hardly knew. That was what happened. There was this bandwagon effect where Labour Party, whether the person knows the candidate or not, that was the way they happened. Now, this is an eye opener for everybody. It's not just even for this. It's not even just for people of Anambra State. The one that won a federal house, who was known to be nobody, but he won a federal house because he joined the Labour Party. Where is he today? The one in Enugu State, where is he today? So what I'm trying to tell people is this: when it comes to election is a serious business, especially those who are going to elect as members of the House, whether at the state level or federal level. This is the most critical part of our democracy, that if we're going to get the members right in the parliament, those principles of democracy, we now have chance of entrenching them. It comes to the issue of character, trying to fathom the quality of persons you are going to elect as members of the House. People who have integrity, people who can even say, even if a party is going down, let's stay and rebuild, because we can't all move to the center in name of democracy. Without opposition, where's democracy? So I want us as a people to think deeply and take these issues of members of parliament seriously, and begin to think of people of impeccable character, people who have quality, people who can give you their word today and tomorrow they stand by it, because they know that they are there to represent their interests as a people.
I was actually going to ask, just to add to what you've just said, because when you told people this, politics is not a game of emotion. It's not a game of sympathy. It's a game of checking the capacity of whoever you are going to put in there. Has the person the capacity? Has he the antecedent? Has he the character to put things right? Not because P2B is here. Wherever P2B is, all of us will follow. And many of them have disappointed P2B. Look at many that sojourned with P2B. Many of them have left him. And the one that is even more painful is the one of Andy Okeke, the Nollywood actor. We have seen how he has been disparaging the man. And this is the man. If you go Andy Okeke, and then if you look at Valo Zibo, how he joined APC, thinking that what's the name of the woman in Lagos, Iola Lagos, that would give her the leverage. Iyaloja will give him the leverage to become the candidate of the party. My greatest concern is that of Nkemo Okeke, the deputy governor of Anambra State, in the heat of the campaign, left his party and joined APC, hoping that he may be, even if they did not win at the state level, he could be given ministerial appointment or being appointed as a head of any agency in the country. Till date, he's still in political limbo. Nothing has been given to him. And I want to ask, Mr. President, the other time spread appointments when it comes to national agencies like parastatals agencies. The Anambra APC was also not asked to bring lists of people that could be given board members and stuff like that. So I have always said, they have to ask questions. The Anambra APC, just say
because they have not been pulling their weights.
I don't know. They have to ask. APC in Anambra or DJ, what have they done wrong to the national APC?
DJ, is it not a good name now?
It's not a good name, because definitely that's the way it looks like. Oh, well. It has always been the case. Even if you go to Taraba, PDP is the ruling party in Taraba, but the Taraba APC has always been remembered.
Is not a member of the governing council of UNISIG. Maybe that could be appointment for him.
Being a deputy governor, you know what that means? At the heat of election, you train weight. Let me give you instances of some who had done that and where they are. You can imagine that when you are appointed a road safety board member, and during the time of Buhari even tried to remember APC Anambra State. Because I remember my very good friend, who is also a member of the APC campaign council now, Obiako. He was made a board member of federal safety. And through that, he was able to bring our people into road safety under Buhari. But I don't know how many people, I stand to be corrected, for those APC members who are listening to us, please, you have to refresh our minds. How many of these agencies, board members, has the present APC as constituted given to APC Anambra State? I want to know, because from the files, from the records, use and cries, that's what I keep getting. And they are not treating us well. Even when you don't put the vote, because just like Franklin said, or you said, that if they have put the vote, they will be recognized. But there are other states that are not pulling votes. How many of these states are pulling votes for APC itself that they are being given? Enugu State, we've seen PDP taking charge of everything. But look at how APC Enugu State is being recognized, treated. Lives of Kedundaman, you don't know where they are today. I can even go and tell you so many of them.
Okay.
So, my concern is, something seems to be wrong. Maybe they have ostracized APC Anambra State from the national APC. Hey, but leprosy. But let's be honest. This is politics.
Let's move on.
But,
your points are clear.
My concern is not even a member of National Working Committee was in attendance during the state inauguration. That's a problem.
That doesn't look good.
So I think the party also needs to do some homework, because if you're outside, you might not know, but the real thing is that within the APC structure in Anambra State, there is this very division.
Yeah, there's division, there's no doubt.
There are people who are loyal to former governor of Anambra State,
Ngige.
And the people who are loyal to him, they have not been mainstreamed into the structure in the present APC Anambra State. So these two sides needs to have a way to watch together so that they'll be able to go to the national as a united front to be able to get whatever that is due to them.
But we have division in River State.
Yeah, of course.
But then the one faction is being recognized, being treated well.
The faction is pulling away because of the
Weaker faction. Yeah, weaker faction. But the point is, Ngige, if you ask Ngige will tell you, I'm a member of APC. Ngige, which person are you supporting? That very day I have a ballot. I will go there and cast, and the secret ballot. If you ask the Dr. Chris Roberts and Ngige, aren't you supporting or campaigning for the candidate of your party? He says, don't ask me that. I have just one ballot. During the election, it's secret ballot. I will go there and cast for the candidate of my choice. So it does not speak good. They must do something about it. But I am aware there are divisions in most political parties. But the most important thing is how the national body of the political party treats the state body. And that, for me, they have not done so for APC in Anambra State.
All right, then let's move on to other matters on our desk this morning. Natasha Akpoti, representing Kogi Central, resumed plenary yesterday, and of course she described the Senate President as a dictator. We recall that her suspension was for 6 months, and it was following controversies revolving around a sitting position. That's where it all started, and then it trickled down to allegations of would I call it sexual assault from the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, to Natasha Akpoti. And then court cases dragged on. And all of those proceedings, all of the apologies asked of, and all of that, Natasha has still said she is not going to apologize. But her office in the complex has been unsealed yesterday. And Tony, do we expect things to go back to normalcy in the coming days, like nothing happened, things to naturally ease off? Are we expecting some more suits?
I'm not seeing the whole drama ending anytime soon. Baby is going to wear a new shape. It's going to wear another dimension. Because the young woman, before the unsealing of her office, was planning something.
She planning? I mean, Senate is not. Senate was supposed to resume sitting yesterday, but they postponed to October 7th. So, if she came back because her suspension has ended, and I believe that the unsealing of her office would not have just vaguely happened. Yeah, it must have been approved by the powers that be.
Yeah. I think there were some concerned people that met Akpabio and told Akpabio she's a woman. Women, their power is usually with their mouth.
Well, let's not go there, Tony.
But I'm just trying to tell you the parley how Akpabio was met. I'm not saying that is the case, that he was prevailed to leave her, that she's a woman.
That's why I'm
they
asking.
Usually have
is the
power.
matter dying then? If he's
I told you he's not going to die, because Natasha will not allow it to die. If you look at what she said yesterday, that Akpabio is a dictator, Akpabio was treating her as her housemaid, Akpabio this, Akpabio that, and people were saying, Madam, bury this hatchet. And she is not happy. And if you look at her supporters, they were saying, do you know what it means to deny people representation for 6 months? Do you know what it means to deny some parliamentary staff their salary? You stop their salary, you stopped everything. They have families, this and that, and you want them not to talk. Do you know the extent of damages you've done? This, that. They said quite a lot of things, but which, for me, I understand the pains. The pains are still there. Apart from the fact that the woman has been asked to come back, but she's still not seeing the pains, the bruises, and she can't stop talking. And if you look at it, I was able to factor out a lot of things. There are other women at the Senate, but why is she accusing Akpabio of treating her as one of the housemates? People will ask this question: when you got so close, when you abandoned legislative duties to hobnob or allegedly with Akpabio.
You don't need to abandon legislative duties to hobnob with somebody.
I don't know, that's the point. When you were hobnobbing for somebody, see, if you get too close to somebody, 2 things may happen. One, that closeness may be taken for granted. And when that is taken for granted, and a lot of things, boundaries will be broken, shattered, and somebody will even go beyond boundaries and do other things ordinarily the person wouldn't have done to you. But at the same time, that closeness can also fetch you something good, depending on how you manage it. But probably she went so close to Akpabio, and knowing Akpabio very well, look at the records. Akpabio is a typical African man. Don't take it for granted. He's a typical African man.
Why are you using the narrative she went close to Akpabio? I mean, picture this a different way.
All right.
People can work together and maintain a cordial relationship. And no need for anybody to get too close to anybody before intentions are thwarted. But that is outside the merit of the matter. Do you think that Natasha would still be suing? And on what grounds in the coming days? When you said she won't let the matter rest, on what grounds and in what angles?
The matter is still before the court. We are not going to talk about that one because it's going to be subject.
Preempt, yes.
The point remains that she has filed an appeal before the court, which Akpabio before now had said that we have to wait until court makes decisions that before we allow you back. But Akpabio has been prevailed upon by some consigned individuals and senior citizens to allow her to come back. And the woman, we are told, was also trying to mobilize the people of Kogi Central to storm the National Assembly and to occupy the National Assembly for some days.
Oh, well, if it gets to that, I mean, those are the people she represents. And denial of her comeback is a denial of the representation
that is
of
the
those
point.
People.
And so you look at it from 2 sides. Could it be because of the mobilization as speculated, or because of those that spoke to Akpabio? In fact, there are some consigned senators who had meetings with Akpabio and said, Akpabio, let's leave the sleeping dog lie. And Akpabio listened, because they have been supporting Akpabio. And these senators came back to Akpabio, prevailed upon Akpabio, and asked Akpabio, let her be. And Akpabio listened to these senators, because if he fails to listen to them, they may not give him the support again in this case. So, not to lose their support, he allowed their reasons to prevail. That is one. And also, the mobilization the woman has planned to bring in people from Kogi Central to occupy the space if she's not allowed when the Senate resumes. But these are on the other side. Then the case is still in court. So remember, Akpabio also filed a counter appeal, especially whether the House or the Senate has right, to perform their legislative duties without any obstruction from the court or from another arm of government and other things that they are asking the court to decide. So these matters are before the court. But on the other side, people are judging, because if you go to social media, people are becoming social about the whole thing. Yes. Yeah, the young woman, when you were visiting Akpabio's chapel in Uyo, when you were visiting the house,
was she the only one?
Not the only one. But remember, let me say this. Yes. Because the most important thing is, how you appear different by the way the God created you. And not just that. And when you are being asked or being invited by an African man, you should also put the handbrakes on. You should put the handbrakes on.
Can we not even go there?
No, we have to.
Because this is. Forgive me, Franklin, but if these allusions are being made, I don't understand why a woman has to be blamed for the way an African man acts. So please put
No. The point is that we are having something before now.
Oh, please, you cannot make that
No,
allegation.
see.
Do you have any proof?
Let me say this thing. There were conversations Remember, the woman said quite a lot, saying that she had so many things on her phones, her conversation, but she said that most of these things that she always tell the husband. Remember, she said that she always tells the husband. Sometimes some of these conversations were happening, so that the husband was aware of those conversations. When she became a first timer, when she prevailed Akpabio to change the rule so that she will be made chairman house committee on, I think, petroleum, either downstream. Do you know what I mean? Bend the rule for me so that I will be this. And the Senate rule says, if you're not a ranking member, you will not be chairman of a committee, you will be a vice chairman. But she wanted Akpabio to bend that Senate rule. And for Akpabio to bend that Senate rule, there must be something given, quid pro quo. Nothing is given or not, but these things
Franklin,
are vices.
Franklin, save this man from
no,
me.
but
please.
I'm just trying
save
to.
this man from me.
I'm trying to extrapolate. I'm not saying it is correct. I'm not saying it's correct, because one thing is for sure, there is whenever there is bribery, there is giver, there is taker, and both the giver and taker, they are guilty.
Are you trying to say that Natasha's person, a lawyer, like she hasn't amassed the experience that made Akpabio possibly look at her potential and say, you can handle this, so go ahead.
Why did she press?
And besides, is there anywhere in the constitution about this ranking member thingy? Where is it written in the constitution?
Hold on, the house has its own rule.
A written rule?
And hold on, remember, the section of the constitution asks the house to make its own rule. So for the fact that the constitution has asked them to make their own rule, which they all adopted, it becomes a guiding principle.
I asked the question, a documented rule or something that has over time become a custom, and then people get comfortable thinking it is a rule.
Remember the rule. From the rule, it becomes more like a tradition. They have rule book.
Is it in the rule book?
It's in the rule book. But sometimes they can waive the rule book on certain conditions.
And do you not think that potential has the potential
no,
for that to be ruled?
There are many people that have potential. The point is this: she is not a ranking senator. She came into the house, to the Senate, went to Akpabio and started pleading to be given a chairman Senate committee.
What makes that a crime? Isn't legislative duty supposed to be about lobbying?
Let me ask you something.
When has that become a crime?
It's just like a student asking the lecturer, I want to be privy. In fact, I want you to let me know the questions before the exams.
Oh no, please, you can't use that instance.
I can use all.
You are using power. They are both house members.
One is first among equal. Senate president is the chairman of the National Assembly.
In the same house, all of them were voted and by the people to represent their people.
One is, in fact, Akpabio, the Senate president, is.
It's like a class prefect.
No, see.
And if a classmate asks a class prefect, allow me take care of this, and the class prefect says, yes, you can, go ahead. Excuse me.
No, hold on. When you talk about class prefects and then a member of the class, they're not the same thing with a Senate president. Senate president has a lot of privileges, has a lot of entitlements,
because our constitution has made it that way.
So
outside that, the two of them are supposed to run on a 4-year term.
Hold on.
They have elections for them.
Hold on. Does class prefect assign seat for class members? The answer is no. The members of the class come and sit wherever they want to sit, and you can't tell anybody. But the Senate president assigns seats. And remember what started this? When Senate president moved Adatacha from her seat to another seat, and Adatacha said no. Why would not? And there were other people moved. There were other persons moved. Only Natasha said no.
But why? Why was she moved?
Why was she moved? In the thinking or wisdom of the Senate, he can do that at his discretion. That is what the rule book has provided. Chisom, others moved. Somebody like Victor will tell you that he has been moved twice. In fact, there are some senators that say they have never asked the Senate president, why did you move us? But it's left for him to explain. But it is their own culture and tradition within the Senate. And that Natasha was moved. Natasha said, I am not living here. If there is no close relationship with him, she can say that.
And when has close relationship become a crime?
It is a crime now because you are elected there to go and perform legislative duties. You abandon it and then wait for.
But we also always agree that legislative duties are bent on lobbying. And so
that is not lobbying. That is relationship. There is a difference between lobbying and relationship.
There needs to be a relationship for lobbying to happen.
There is a moral relationship.
No, you cannot prove that.
I can.
You cannot.
Let me come here because I chose to allow two of you to have this very banter so that we
she's a woman. I understand that she's a.
So I purposely chose to do this. Okay, so for me, what I want us to look at is there a possibility that we can do a conjecture? Because yesterday, the reaction coming from Natasha we saw yesterday was not built on anything factual. It was built on what she read in the media. There was this right up in the media that there was this very conversation where it was agreed that her office complex should be unsealed, and then by the time Senate resumes, Senate Minority Leader will propose for a motion where she will be asked to apologize, and and after the apology, of course, everything goes on like nothing happened. So nothing has come from the Senate officially to say that these are the conditions upon which she's going to be readmitted. So she responded to what was in the media. Until we hear from the Senate, they will now know where we are headed. But I just want to say this now, because you asked a question about what led to the reassignment of seat of Natasha. There was a fact there, because some members of the Senate left their party and moved to APC. And once you leave your party and move to another party, of course, it's going to affect the sitting arrangement. So that was the reason her seat was reassigned.
And she said no.
And she said no. Now, what I'm looking at now is, what could you conjecture could possibly happen by the time Senate resumes on October 7? Do you expect Senate to ask her to apologize, or the
Senate will ask her to do apology, no doubt. Is already there. In fact, for those who have come to plead on her behalf, they say that they will speak to her to apologize to the Senate, and they ask that her office be unsealed. In fact, she has sent so many people to speak to the leadership of the Senate, not Akpabio now. And then they say they will speak to Akpabio.
Lobbying.
But then it's part of it. And you know one thing, if you are not good at lobbying, you will have a big problem. And I like her activism. It's good to be an activist. Just like someone like Showere, who if find Showere at the Senate, now every day there will be drama. Hope you're aware. Because he is an activist, he may not also have that spirit of lobbying. Somebody like Showere will not lobby. He will rather stand his right. He will be shouting, "Alota continua there." But the business of the Senate is lobbying, and lobbying is not having a moral relationship.
You can still not prove that to me.
See, when you have something like, can you imagine? He asked me to kiss him. No, can you imagine?
Acts
hold on.
Actual acts do not
Hold on,
Chisom.
If you are work in an organization when you are so close to your manager in that regard, definitely you lose some respect and you lose some boundaries. Yes, and you may be the only one you can challenge him on some things. And people will be wondering, why is this lady challenging our manager? Why is this lady challenging our corporate affair or group managing director? The point remains that they have had something close, and that's what gives the woman that's very thought to challenge the group managing director. So it is important. That's why some people will tell you we don't mix work and pleasure. We don't mix it at all. Yes, lobby good, but let it be within boundaries. So I believe, just like you asked Franklin, she'll be asked to apologize. But I know how the apology will be. Her own kind of apology will be, she will try to blame everybody, but still say, "I'm sorry." Well, then the whole thing will go.
We'll from that matter, because Tony, the two of us can actually spend the entire day arguing about the proof of what you term amorous and how this affects the meat of the matter. But of course, 3 soldiers have bagged life imprisonment, and one is to get 15 years for aiding terrorists. Now, a special court martial set up by the acting general officer commanding 7th Division of the Nigerian Army in Sector 1, Operation Hadinkai, Brigadier General Ugochukwu Unachukwu, has tried 2 senior non-commissioned officers and 2 non-commissioned officers for arms and ammunition racketeering and aiding and abating terrorism. The charges ranged from theft, unlawful dealings in ammunition offences in relation to service property, and aiding the enemy, all of which are punishable under the relevant sections of the Armed Forces Act, Law of the Federation of Nigeria, Cap 820, 2004, and other extant laws. Tony, what do you make of this story? We are totally out of time, but things like this are quite commendable. We should have things like this happening more often.
It's sustainability. That's the most important thing. It's one of the successes recorded, but there's no doubt. But I tell you, a lot is happening beneath our eyes. Quite a lot is going on. The truth remains that we must strengthen institutions and give them more independent powers so that no individual will be above them. Institutions should be above big men, big individuals, strong politicians. Until we get that done, we may not even see things like this. But we must commend what happened. But going further, I think it's one of the structural reform Mr. President needs to introduce, and maybe if he does it, he will be remembered for it. And I'm looking that by the time he gets into second term, if Nigerians put him there, he may want to do something that he will be remembered for. What is also getting his attention now is his re-election. He's actually distracting Mr. President a lot. But I know if he gets his re-election, he may want to do something he will be remembered for. And this issue of state police and local government police, he has started doing it. And then this issue of ensuring that the states work with more funds, that they are not bereft of funds. He has been so much committed doing that. That is one. But on the other indices, as we have always said many times, poverty level, unemployment, and his programs being elitist. Some of the things he tries doing, they are all elitist, more like what we favor the elites. So he should also think about the people, the poor people. It's also important he looks in that way. Like the wife who has assembled over 20 billion. For those who think that Oluremi Tinubu has no money. And who are these people who have pulled this money? Contractors, federal contractors. And many of them will bring in this money, hoping that in return they will be giving contracts. So it is important that we find a way to cleanse malfeasance. My way. 20 billion off for National Library. Even when Peter B said, you can't just abandon that for the for charity donation, because it is the responsibility of the government. But the woman has been able to muzzle 20 billion, and she is going to use it to finish the National Library and also put it the way it should be.
Okay, so just to point out a bit of things before go for the calls. I took my time to go through this story of the soldiers who were court-martialed. 3 of them, I think 4 of them total, and 3 of them were sentenced to life imprisonment and 1 for 15 years imprisonment. And I looked at how they were able to do this. I saw that it's something ingrained, which if we look further, if we look inwards, we can see some security officers who are also involved. Now, just imagine where you have an armorer, the person who is in charge of army, the person who is taking charge of ammunition in a barrack, and he's the one collaborating with others to smuggle arms and give to terrorists and give to criminals. Now, what is actually troublesome for me is that they move these very arms from Borno State to Enugu and the Ebonyi State, where the arms were given to criminals for them to go about doing their criminal operations. This is a wake-up call that the police, the army, and whoever is in charge of our security operations should look inwards and see how they can, because this thing happens. Because sometimes you get to arrest some criminals and you get to see army camouflage, you see guns from police, and each time guns attached to police as no guns as Nachi when a policeman was killed. This is the way we normally put it. But from what we have seen now, it shows that there is a deep-seated corruption going on, which the military needs to look. They have to look into it and be able to ensure that they get to fish out more people who are doing this, so that they will stop sabotaging, the effort being made by genuine ones. Just imagine that you are sent to the war front, or you are sent to go and confront bandits, and unknown to you that somebody who's supposed to be your man or your colleague had already leaked an information on how you are going to operate, and just go there and waste your life. So
internal sabotage.
Exactly, this shouldn't be taken lightly. Everybody must look inwards and see that people of this very nature, we feed them out and throw them away from our military setup.
It has been ongoing. There is no doubt. Most of these Boko Haram insurgents, many of them, they will tell you how they cooperate with these bad eggs in the military. It's been there for ages. The saboteurs, as they are called, no doubt. So I don't want to dwell so much about that. In fact, I can give you some, examples, but time will not permit us. So the
us.
thing is,
need to attend to
we must also put internal measures to see if who is who. Everybody could be a suspect while the operation is on.
All right, then we attend to some commercials real quickly. When we come back, we open up the phone lines to stay.
You're listening to Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
Quality bread, Wendy's bread, for your family breakfast. Wendy's bread, I'll pack it and they do yellow. Wendy's bread, mama papa they like Wendy's bread, that you and do. Wendy's bread, even children they like Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, you get it better, tasty, we go sweet your belly. Wendy's bread, Wendy's your body. Wendy's bread,
Wendy's bread, your tasty bread. You can contact us on our official address, 2nd Business Park, Enugu Road, GRA, beside Misha, Anambra State. We also have another branch at St. Michael Plaza at Tandy Road. Also contact us on 070-1149-1571. Wendy's bread, your tasty bread.
Wendy's bread.
My people, I present to you the most preferred governorship candidate for Anambra State, John Chuma Nwosu of the African Democratic Congress, ADC. John Chuma Nwosu is ready to take Anambra State from insecurity to peace, from regression to progression. Vote John Chuma Nwosu. Vote ADC, African Democratic Congress.
ADC, ADC,
Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
The time you've been waiting for is here. Go straight to the point when you put a call across. Turn on the volume on your radio set. 0803-221-6973, 0803-827-6694. From Anambra State, we moved over to the Senate, where Natasha resumed her legislative duties yesterday, and of course over to the military, where soldiers are non-commissioned and non-commissioned men in the military who have been aiding and abetting terrorists by selling arms to them and smuggling arms to them were tried and sentenced yesterday. Let's hear what you have to say. You can do this in a minute 30 seconds. Good morning.
Yes, a wonderful morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, Chisom Chinedu, lady of the house. Olisa Mbeki Franklin, good morning.
You're welcome.
All right, Budika, and I'm calling from Onitsha.
Go ahead.
Straight to the point. I think this Super Robert Stamper Assembly of Adio, let me tell you the truth, is the worst of all. In fact, he has messed up that chamber. It wasn't like this under Saraki and under other past Senate presidents. So I think Senator Natasha shouldn't tender any apology to this Senate. Everybody can be Sugara. Everybody can just bow down to, such a get shot. We have had the case of NSDC director or president also saying that Badio was making advances attack. How could you use your office to, undermine and use your office as a tool to gain a certain pleasure? It's uncalled for. So I think we must commend Natasha and stand by her. And I'm disappointed in our women, apart from obvious sequence. There was a time we passed through this issue, I think, with Gino Melaye. And the women came out, like 10 people came out and supported her. Okay? And now in the case of Natasha, she's looking the other way around. In the case of Natasha, all the women that are in the Senate, this was why when the late wife of our leader, Jim Chikonopojuku Bianca, went to the screen, instead of seeing how they were busy admiring her beauty. What sort of men do you have in this Senate? You Zimbabwe to golf. They will not bring the tissue for him. So I think they are just setting up that institution, and it's a hollow chamber and must be called to order. Now, going straight to these defectors in Anambra State, I think one thing that is surprising to me here, Franklin and Mbeki, our governor, Professor Soludo, is drumming support for APC. You see him commending President Bola Tinubu, that is his friend, that they have known him for some decades. So don't you think that can confuse the voters? That voters can now come out and mass since he's endorsing President Bola Tinubu and vote massively for APC. Because if you really want to play this politics the way it should be, he should, focus on the work he has done in Anambra State, and Ambregas has seen what he's doing, and he should be working on that.
All right, you should be rounding
off now. All
the
time you talk about the president, APC, this APC, that it's confusing because somebody can just wake up and say someone is supporting APC and vote for APC. So I don't rule out anything. Anything can happen in this forthcoming election. So I just might take this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your contribution. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This morning, Rainy, Odazir from Delta State, my lady, good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Tony, good morning. And my friend, Franklin, good morning.
You're welcome.
I was a bit worried by your analysis. I heard I see Dr. Mbeki there. Anambra State APC. He said APC had picked a few people from Anambra State, and without really looking into Anambra State and giving them their own stake of whatever it is that we should give them, or the Anambra State indigenous. What about free pigs? Are you trying to tell us that they were picked at random without the knowledge of the Anambra State government? Are you telling us that these people that have been picked in the service of the state as it is at the moment, the nation, are they volunteers or specialists in some field that without the knowledge of the government of Anambra State? Could the governor be obvious of the fact that some of his citizens are working there? Or rather, is he, one way or another, cooperating from the back door for the government of the day? We need you to expatiate on that. Now, to Natasha Apache, I would want us to look at Natasha as a human being, a professional, a politician, not just that woman, that girl. She eyes the man. You know, you and I know very well that a man there, Abadio has an eye for women. This is not the first, second, third time. We don't want Natasha to be a scapegoat that girl, that woman. She's a professional, she's a lawyer, she's a married woman, and she's a career politician, for crying out loud sake. So we must give her due respect. She doesn't have to beg, apologize. As long as Abadio is there as a senator, so also she is there as a senator of the Federal Republic. We don't beg, you don't beg for things. You don't beg for favors. That is why we sweep things under the carpet. I don't apologize. We sweep under, and then Nigeria keeps falling from grace to the grass proper. No.
All right, thank you, Dazi.
This is judiciary says enough. Let them do their job.
All right, thank you very much. Let them do their jobs. 0803-221-6973, 0803-827-6694. Don't also forget we are live on Facebook at Udala Radio 104.7 FM. You can drop your comment right there. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm coming from Onitsha.
Good morning.
Well, to the Natasha issue, like you are blaming Natasha. And I want to ask, why must a married man be dealing with married woman? That is the main problem. Why must you have an issue with as a married woman? Very clear to everybody. to the extent of using your office, using our National Assembly to be dealing with somebody that you have issue with. So I'm blaming the Senate President. If you have issue with that woman, you shouldn't use the office to be dealing with her. And again, you must know that when you are dealing with any woman, no matter the age, she will be your age. So he's not supposed to bring that kind of, as in that treatment to her. Since you know that you have issue with that, you're supposed to treat her with respect. So that is my own observation on that. On the side of APC Anambra State, my speaker, you know, A in English alphabet, you want to speak it in Igbo, you call it A. Anambra State own is ABC. Their own is not the ABC. Because, why do I say so? You must know when you are needed. Ike Madari sang in a song that they don't want you, and they don't even want to know that they don't want you, and you are busy killing yourself. Keep killing yourself. Thank you very much.
All right, then. Thank you for your contribution. 0803-827-6694, 0803-221-6973. Let's hear what you have to say. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, system. I'm Franklin and my Honorable Secretary Mbeki.
You're welcome.
I think the voice of Honorable Mrs. Okoye from our ancient kingdom.
Go
But
ahead.
I'm from them now. But I'm the defenders that delivered in Anambra as far as APC is concerned. I must be, I think you remember that KK did not even win his polling booth. He failed in voting. He did not want it. He won it not. So the deputy governor lost in his polling booth when he joined the APC. So there's not the other people. What happened is that they are giving the money. That's the whole truth here. And the better when they take a contrast and they take a contrast and know which one better for you. They have seen that getting 50 million is not a small money. Here I would like to divert that side. So that's the whole truth. Coming to Natasha issue. Natasha, this problem has made her a figure, not only in Nigeria but in the whole world. So I think this time she lie low. She's a woman. I don't know what woman is. Man, one is also that same equal in that speech. But let him lie low. And let the civil dog sleep. Let the line dog sleep. And coming to Ebuka, I would advise him not to operate this case again. He has gotten many bad names, many abuses from many people. He's a woman, people say that he's a womanizer. I don't know. But let him lie low this time. Let everything be like it's not been before. It's only my advice there. Thank you, my speaker. I'm done.
All right, then. Thank you for your contribution. The floor is still open. We can take a few more calls before we head over to Facebook. 0803-827-6694, 0803-221-6973. Have your say. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki, my honorable speaker.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Franklin and Chisom. My name is Ogochukwu from Buki, Enugu State.
Go ahead.
What I want to say here is very simple. I want you people to understand that politics is dynamic. Because if you want the outcome of this Anambra senatorial by-election, APC came, I am aware that APC came second in that very election.
Which one?
So, I'm not surprised.
Sorry.
Everything.
Which election were you referring to? Was it the one of 2021?
Hello, can you hear? Franklin is engaging you. Go ahead.
Were you referring to election of 2021?
Oh dear, you should try to reconnect. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. We can hear you.
Good morning, Chisom. I'm calling from Onitsha this morning.
Go ahead, please.
I want to comment about because when the speaker was making analysis about those people who defect the APC, he said that they don't know the political value these people have. I think I am agree with him because some of the people that are defected from level to APC, good number of them don't have any political value. But the one of Onitsha, not you. Yes, Patrick. Nobody know about him. But it's because of the labor movement, they found themselves to be in Anambra State of Assembly. But the one I'm voted in Onitsha South too. I live in Tretre. The guy there, I think whatever it costs me to get a figure. They are the man for Onitsha South 2 federal constituency. I don't know the man, even up to this month, I don't know him. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know where he lives. Even I don't even feel his impact. But I voted for him. All of a sudden, he won. So many of them don't have any political value at all. Okay, since Nkemoke left Apuga APC, did anybody have anything about him? So those of them that have been defecting, okay, look at the ones. Those people are very disappointed. They are disappointing us. That is why I don't have any thoughts, any politician in Nigeria here. Okay, look at the ones at Enugu State. Especially the one that said that he was a Panwan Papa in Enugu. The one who used the bicycle to do his campaign. Now he's in a federal house. Nobody know about it just because of that. Maybe some of them won without them being know that they won the election. Many of them won without them being know that they have won it. So these people don't have any political. Let them continue defecting. After the voting, we will know who is who. Thank you and good morning.
Good morning to you too. Let's head over to Facebook right after this one. Good morning. Do this in a minute.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning, Dr. Mbeki. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
We can hear you. Please go ahead. Your time is almost up.
Okay, Chidi Chupuma, reaching you from
30 seconds.
I want to commend the House of Senate for their decision to consider that woman. You know, two wrong can never make right. And also the people that intervene in that crisis. Yeah. Because there is anything good in that whole area. Because looking at the two persons, the woman and the Senate leader, two of them are family people, you know. And they have family and they are hearing all these crises, and it's not good at all. That place is not for personal issue. They are here on mandate and they represent the interests of people, not their interests. So going here to fight any war or all that kind of security is not okay at all. Therefore, I would like to tell the woman to be more patient and also to be more abiding. You know that if you
Thank you very much, Chidi Chukuma. Yes, thank you very much.
Such authority and good because
all right. Your point has been noted, Franklin.
Okay, so let's begin from this one from Chidubem Stanley. He says, in fact, I can't comport myself here. Okay. He said, Chisom, stopped pretending something smooth and pleasurable happened behind the scene. Remember that quote that says, when the going is smooth, no noise, but when the opposite is here, you hear unnecessary banter noise.
Chisom will pretend until you have proof for that.
All right. Okay, Gonas Madreke says politics is always a game of interest for the House members that defected to APC. They are going there to have the candidate of the party in the upcoming November 8th election. And he goes ahead to say that APC leadership is not playing the cards well. That's the reason why they are always they always get omitted when it comes to appointment from the center. Basil Ogu says, when a senator is supposed suspended for months, it's not just about her, it's about her people who voted her in being silenced. Nigeria's constitution makes clear that every elected lawmaker represents their people, and courts have ruled that long suspensions violate this right. The Legislative Houses Act allow discipline, yes, but not abuse. Democracy means due process, transparency, and respect for the rule of law. If politics replaces procedure, the Senate risks losing legitimacy. This is bigger than Natasha. It is about protecting our democracy injustice to one representative weakens the voice of all Nigerians. And then Dubem Stanley says APC political party. Okay, I'm not going to say the way you say it. All right. Okay, so okay. Dubem Stanley, thank you for the comment. So then Onuchukwu Emmanuel, thank you for watching. Godswill Okoye says congratulations to Natasha for the recall to Senate House. Hopefully that the drama is going to be over for the Anambra governorship election. It's clearly it's clear that Abga has come to stay. Strong in Anambra. I don't think what happened at Edo can play in Anambra easily. But I wish the choice of the people must be respected like it was witnessed in Abia State. Then Maazimuri Chigbaro Osinachi says it's quite unfortunate on how Nigerian politicians normally jump from one party to the other without showing remorse, and thereby betraying the masses whom they claim that they are representing. You see, that is why I normally lecture voters to vote because of the candidate, not because of the party. And then I'm going to go to the post by Dr. Mrs. Simon, who says Natasha is a pride to the womanhood, glad that she has returned to her office. She is the first and strength of true womanhood. She is honest, resilient, truthful, and unshakable. She is bold, speaks truth to power, and a symbol of true women liberation. Like her or not, she has these qualities. Let's join her in the fight for a new Nigeria that is possible. And then Obinna Williams Lamparesino says, thus Governor Soludo defecting from PDP to Abga means he is also interested in his pocket, not the people. Okay, he's asking Tony. So he now says juxtapose it with the House members who defected to the APC, and trying to get across to other posts that we have on our Facebook page. But as it is now, maybe by time refresh and that comes, so we'll be able to acknowledge that.
Absolutely. We take down the curtain. At this point, thank you for your calls and your contributions so far, Tony. Would you want to respond to any, and of course, throw in your last words for today's edition?
Most times, people may think that I'm supporting Akpabio. I'm not supporting him. I can't support Akpabio. Remember, I have refrained from discussing Akpabio and Atacha issues because I always say we have pressing national needs and they should not distract us. When they both started this game, they know. And when it got spoiled or when issues started arising, they start involving us. Most times we are too emotional. That's exactly the mistake many people made by electing people they never knew anything about because of labor movement. And today we saw where that has kept us. Please, Akpabio Natacha issue, let us stay away from there. We don't know how it began. How it began, we didn't know. And how it has been going, we still don't know. I'm just trying to, say one or two things that somebody who fetch an ant-infested firewood will always invite lizard. And for me, at the Senate, let's always abide by the rules. If you are being moved from one location to the other, I don't see why you should say no. And for Fabio, you have had issues with Joy Nule, former managing director of Nigeria Delta Development Commission. We saw how it happened. Wike came in and so many things happened. Not just one, not just two. Not only you now. Respect women, Kwano. Get respect, Kwano. But
thank you,
my own is, let's not get ourselves involved in their issue. They know themselves.
All right then, Franklin, what do you have to say?
I'll just say a few words. You see, in the case of Akpabio and Natasha Akpabio, there are two elements I have spotted out. One is victimization and the manipulation. And I just hope that they should be able to deal with these very two, irrespective of who is trying to manipulate the other or who is victimizing the other.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, for your contribution.